host of the Gridiron.
Ain't no surefire hits in this draft class at quarterback. And not even so much this draft class, but, all the other draft classes. Just because you got a shot. I mean, look at this guy right here, Mr. Russell right here. I mean, there ain't no bigger bust in the NFL, almost in the NFL history than this freaking guy right here. I mean, holy cow, what a bust this guy was. And he was pick number 1 or pick number 2, whatever it was in the draft, right? Where he took a chance on him, and man, he stunk. He just straight up stunk. So just because if the Giants get pick number 1 and they got a chance at their quarterback, it doesn't mean that they're hitting it out of the park. So I got one thing here. It says Raiders, Giants, and Browns need to prepare themselves for aggressive quarterback drafts. It says the best passers in 2025 are nowhere near the caliber of last year, as there will be a rush on the top prospects early. Yep. The NFL season is moving quickly, but the early first-round draft order is taking clearer and clearer shape with every week. While the playoff picture is a bit crowded across the AFC and the NFC, but the bottom of the standings are pretty crowded as well. For some of them, there are teams that are in desperate need for a new quarterback. 3 of those teams are the Raiders, the Browns, and the Giants. According to Tankathon, here are the teams that would be selecting with the first 5 picks. Right? Yeah, I went over this. The Jaguars, Titans, Browns, Raiders, and Giants. 3 of those 5 teams arguably could possibly be 4 if you want to throw the Titans in there, maybe. It could be. You don't even know. If something crazy goes on with the Jaguars, right? I mean, I would think that they would want to keep Trevor Lawrence there, but anyway. 3 of those 4 to 5 teams are in desperate need of a surefire franchise quarterback when April rolls around, primarily Cleveland, New York, and the Raiders. Based on ESPN's best available list, these are the top 5 quarterbacks projected to be picked in the first 2 days of the draft. These are the first 2 days. These are first 2 rounds. Sanders, right? Ward, Jalen Milroe. Those are the guys, according to PFF, who have the top 3 grades. They have top first-round grades assigned to them as of right now, according to PFF. Carson Beck from Georgia and Ewers. I think it's Quinn Ewers from Texas. Those are the top 5. In this draft order holds, there's not going to be enough elite rookie passers to go around. The Giants and Raiders, who missed out in 2024, will be jockeying to put themselves in a position to nab one of the top 2 quarterbacks. Prepare front office warfare. The 2025 draft is lacking in elite passers. It's not what it was last year. Now, ESPN hasn't produced a mock draft since midseason, and those projections are way off now that some passers have regressed, others improved mightily. But Tankathon, however, has produced a mock draft of their own, and the results suggest the quarterback-needy teams will be slugging it out on the phones to move up. So they got Travis Hunter, Jacksonville Jaguars taking Travis Hunter. I mean, so quite possibly, here, as crazy as it is, according to Tankathon, they have 2 Colorado Buffaloes being taken with the top 2 picks. Hunter going to the Jaguars, the wide receiver, and then Sanders going to the Titans at quarterback. 2 Colorado Buffaloes being taken the top 2 picks. That's crazy. Cleveland Browns, they're taking Graham. I'm going to be going over Graham in just a little bit, the defensive lineman. The Raiders take Cam Ward, and then the Giants take Will Johnson, cornerback, which wouldn't be bad either, right? I mean, if you put Banks over on the weak side, you put Will Johnson over there on the strong side, going against the number 1, and then you got Drew Phillips in the slot, we might have our 3 cornerbacks. Or then depending on if we keep Flott, if he stays around or whatever, then we might have a little bit of a backup. But so we could use a cornerback. We need it. I mean, if we can get Graham, that would be fantastic. I don't know why they would, why Cleveland would want to pass on a quarterback. and take a defensive lineman. I don't know. But anyway, of course, Travis Hunter, the Heisman Trophy favorite, will be taken first overall. It's hard to see a scenario where that doesn't happen. Let's see. Tennessee selecting a quarterback, however, would be a surprise. Sure, Will Levis has amounted to a bust so far, but Sanders will father Dion allow a poorly run organization like the Titans to select him. Papa Prime also said he's going to be keeping the best interest out for Travis Hunter as well, too. So not just his son, Hunter as well. Cleveland opting to replace Zadarius Smith on the defensive front makes sense, even if starting quarterback Deshaun Watson is recovering from a torn Achilles, and backup Jameis Winston is far from being his successor. But don't be surprised if Cleveland also wants to try to take Sanders if given the chance. So we got Las Vegas will certainly take a passer if Sanders is gone. Then Ward is the next best option. But if Tennessee and Cleveland decide they want to alter the direction of the franchise immediately, the Raiders and the Giants will be out of luck for the second consecutive year. Texas's Quinn Ewers is not worth reaching with a first-round selection, not even if Las Vegas or New York trade back a dozen spots or so. Tankathon's mock has Cleveland selecting Alabama's Milroe and New York taking Ewers at the top of round 2. Very much consolidation. Very much a consolation prize selections, given how much of a change the two teams needed at the key position. General managers may be forced into selling more than they think is fair in order to guarantee their team a top 3 spot in this if the order holds. The Raiders and Giants will be the two to watch as they are the most desperate to improve under center in 2025, which is true. They are the worst. Obviously, they certainly are the worst, without question. Let's see. And I had a. Whoops. There was a. Where are we at here? There we go. All right. There was a. All right. There we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, cool. I can probably pop this up. Now, there was a chart here, right, going over. Now, just because you get a, we're pick number 2. We can pick whatever quarterback we want. Oh, here we go, baby, Super Bowl. That doesn't mean that. It don't necessarily mean that. I mean, you look at this chart here. Over, let's see where we are. Well, I mean, look at these quarterbacks taken here, okay? Right. Over the past, there were 26 quarterbacks drafted between 2021 and 2023. Only 3 would be considered hits, including Trevor Lawrence and Brock Purdy. Right? I mean, you look at Trevor Lawrence. So hold on. Let me get the banners out of the way here, just for a second here, so we can see this whole thing here. Right. So obviously, right. So we got 26. So we got Trevor Lawrence. And this it goes, but basically how many yards they've thrown for. Okay. All right. But you look at Trevor Lawrence, right? Mac Daddy Jones, he's thrown for a bunch, but he's nope. Justin Fields, nope. Zach Wilson, oh my God. David Mills, nope. Kenny Pickett, nope. Sam Howell, nope. Desmond Ridder, Bryce Young, Aiden O'Connell, Zappy, Will Levis, Trey Lance, Anthony. I need to tap out Richardson. Oh my God. Skylar Thompson, Alinger, Dorian Thompson Robinson, Malik Willis, Jaron Hall, Ian Book. I mean, just on and on and on. So you got 3 guys, right? C.J. Stroud, Brock Purdy, and Trevor Lawrence. 3 guys from 20 those 3 drafts there. Okay, out of 26 quarterbacks in those 3 drafts that are successful. 3 out of 26. That ain't too good. Then if we look here, okay, at just 24. I'm just going to go to the first round here. All right, yeah, all right. I'm just instead of going over. All right, you look at Caleb Williams. Well, possibly. He's what do we got here? He has 306 rushing yards, 9 passing touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's throwing 200 completions and 325 attempts, 2,000 yards passing. So, some of these guys, it's like, once again, some of it, it's almost kind of like, I really don't know what some of these guys are, it's like, this guy's not taking us to the Super Bowl. Caleb Williams ain't taking us to the Super Bowl this year. Let's bench him. He sucks. Let's see if we can trade the guy. I mean, he played 5 downs. He only completed 1 pass. The guy sucks. Come on. Let's give the dude a chance, right? I mean, right? But so Caleb Williams possibly, right? Got to give the guy some time. Jaden Daniels certainly looks like all of that and a bag of Doritos. Even Drake May, right? Let's see what else we got. Michael Penix, he hasn't had a chance yet, really. J.J. McCarthy hasn't had a chance yet. Bo Nix, right? I mean, 234 passes, 357 completions, 14 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Not bad. Not bad. Let's see. Anybody else in the first round? No. Right. So, so far, you can possibly look at between May, Daniels, Williams, and Bo Nix. Right? So possibly, But some of those guys that I read off, some of them, maybe started kind of, like, what's his name? The quarterback from, where's he at here? For the Patriots. Mac Daddy Jones. I mean, he started off not doing too bad, and all of a sudden he just, So I mean, so far, I mean, you got to tip your cap to like maybe 4 of the quarterbacks so far. Just in that first round I was looking at from this year's draft, not bad. But even so, all right, if you take those 4 from this first round, that's all I'm going by. First round, and all the quarterbacks from the last 3 drafts, that's only 7 quarterbacks in the last 4 drafts. Right? That ain't many. That's basic. That's like say that's out of every draft, there's 2 quarterbacks that make it. That ain't enough. When you got 7, 8, 9, 10 teams annually that need quarterbacks, only 2 of them come out on an average that are good, that make the grade. Wow, that's tough. That's really tough. So once again, just because the Giants get a top pick, or they better do the due diligence and all of that, and when they have a conviction about somebody, all the chips are in the middle of the table, and you live and die by that guy. But you better be darn sure. Better really be darn sure. But once again, even though all those other teams were pretty darn sure too about the quarterbacks, and as you see, there's from 2021 to 2023, 26 quarterbacks got drafted. Only 3 out of 26. What the heck is that? 1 out of 9. What is that? 11%, 12% were successful. I mean, or worthy to keep around, maybe a second contract on. 12%. Ooh, wow. So yeah. So just because you get a top pick in the draft, doesn't guarantee you success. As I said, especially this year. I mean, there's no Peyton Mannings, there's no John Elway, there's no Trevor Lawrence. There's no Drew Lock coming out. Lock, guy for the Colts, right? So, I mean, some of those guys are like supposed to be, like, surefire guarantee, which they were, but there's no unbelievable, amazingly got to have quarterback talent coming out of this draft. I mean, there's some guys that look good, and all that, but I'm sure they all have chinks in their armor. Right, so.